Good morning, everyone. My name is Reggie White, and I'm an alcoholic. Welcome to the regular Sunday, never too early Big Book Workshop. For those who care to, please join me in a moment of silence for the alcoholic or addict who still suffers. Please join me in the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom that knows the difference. Amen. This is the foreword as it appeared in the first printing of the first edition in 1939. We of Alcoholics Anonymous are more than 100 men and women who have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. To show other alcoholics precisely how we recovered is the main purpose of this book. For them, we hope these pages will prove to be so convincing that no further authentication will be necessary. We think this account of our experiences will help everyone to better understand the sick person. And besides, we're sure that our way of living has its advantages for all. It is the purpose of this workshop to experience the recovery process as outlined in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, either for the first time or again, so that we may better carry out and understand our primary purpose: to stay sober and carry the message to the still suffering alcoholic. We do as the Big Book suggests, in a 1.5-hour meeting followed by a 15-minute group conference. We have a different reader each week whose responsibility is to keep us on track with what is being read. The reader will pause at each paragraph for comments, questions, problems, or experience with what has just been read. We are here to talk about recovery only and to go through the 12-step process as outlined in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. This is not an emotional or intellectual exercise. This is a spiritual exercise so that we can recover and experience the recovery process as we read it together. Crosstalk is allowed in a loving and supportive manner. Please try to relate your experience only with your questions or your comments. Please repeat after me. Please, God, help me set aside everything we think we know about ourselves, our disease, this process, and you, God, for an open mind and a new experience. Amen.
Morning, everybody. My name is Ralph White. I am an alcoholic. Welcome to the Sunday morning, never too early Big Book Workshop. If you are here with us for your first or second time or so, we want to welcome you. We want to encourage you to treat this meeting as a commitment. We are not a drop-in meeting where you drop in every now and then and share. We are a group who goes through the 12-step process in this book, and we'll go through it together all the way through the chapter working with others. We are currently in the chapter, the doctor's opinion, so it's a good time to be joining us if you're just joining us. If you're celebrating a birthday, yearly milestones only. At the end of the meeting, if you put your name in the chat and the number of years you're celebrating, we'll be glad to celebrate your birthday with you at the end of the meeting. Again, birthdays for us, we don't front. So it's either today or in the very recent past. If your birthday is tomorrow, we'll celebrate it with you next week. Before we start, I'd just like us to keep in mind we've had a number of recent deaths within our family. So You know, we had a memorial service for our member Dwayne Birdsong this last week. At the end of the meeting, again, we'll keep all these members' families in prayer. So Dwayne Birdsong, we have our member and trusted servant for this group, Donna Ruth Adams. She'll be, her funeral information will probably be put in the chat. It's on July 25th of this month, July 25th. Information will be put in the chat. Yesterday, we lost another member. I don't know if her brother is on here today, David Wyatt, and Chariz, who's a longtime member. She hasn't been able to be on Zoom with us, but she's been a member of our group for well over a decade. And Chariz was a long time member of the group, and she passed yesterday. So David is coming. David is here every week. If he's on here, he may have said a couple of words at the end of the meeting. Let's keep David Wyatt's family in prayer at the end. And then we lost another member yesterday. No, 3 days ago, I think. Helen. I'm not remembering Helen's last name. Helen goes all the way back to when we were meeting at my mom's house. Helen was one of our members there, and she was a member when we were meeting live. And like I say, Helen goes back to the 90s with us. And so we've been kind of rocked, but we come together and that's what we do. And so let's keep all those members' families in prayer when we do a moment of silence at the end of the meeting. We got a couple of people missing. We got a lot. Ronnie's in Amsterdam. Teresa's in Amsterdam. The end of the meeting, I'm going to have to cut out right before birthdays. I stayed over to do the workshop. I hope I can make my flight. So I don't know, you guys. I'll be rushing out right at the end. So anyway, enough of that. We are in the doctor's opinion, Roman numerals XXVIII, 28 for those of you who speak Latin, and that is the doctor's opinion. Top of the page, we believe, and so suggestion. Take it away, reader.
Good morning, never too early Big Book Workshop. My name is Brenda T, and I am an addict. We believe, and so suggested a few years ago, that the action of alcohol on these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy, that the phenomenon of craving is limited to this class and never occurs in the average temperate drinker. These allergic types can never safely use alcohol in any form at all. And once having formed a habit and found they cannot break it, once having lost their self-confidence, their reliance upon things human, their problems pile up on them and become astonishingly difficult to solve.
Okay. We are just now getting into the doctor's opinion. People were sharing, kind of preliminarily before, but now let's look at what the doctor says. Let's unpack this paragraph. This paragraph is one of the first places now where we're going to get into, Ralph, what the hell is wrong with you? And we're going to examine not the other part, the second part, the great. What is wrong with you? There's something physically wrong with you. Did not know that. New information. When I first came here, this is brand new information, that there is a physical component to this illness that I suffer. So the doctor is going to talk to, he says, we believe, for the doctors, that the action of alcohol on these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy. What the hell are you telling me? Okay, let's break that down. The action of alcohol on these chronic alcoholics. So let's get in the middle of that. Chronic, and Gloria probably put something in the chat. Chronic alcoholics. So the first thing he's going to talk about is he's giving me a description of not the heavy drinker, but now he's going to talk about a chronic alcoholic. What does chronic mean? Marked by frequent, marked by continual, frequent or continual use. I talked about it last week. We have acute diseases, mumps, measles, chickenpox. Catch it, goes away, you don't have it again. We have chronic diseases. Heart disease is with you, it's going to be with you. Diabetes, with you, probably going to be with you. Heart disease, with you, going to be with you. Alcoholism, with you, going to be with you. It's not going to just stop. So alcoholism, a chronic disease. I see Reggie's jumping in. I'm going to talk about this whole paragraph. So if you want to come in, come on in. I'm going to say, Reggie, what is it? Come on.
Well, actually, Reggie White, alcoholic, and what actually caught me on this when you just start talking about chronic, to see, I have chronic glaucoma. See, my eyes, there are different kinds of glaucoma. Some glaucoma, and when you have glaucoma, it's an eye disease. And with this eye disease, it starts to take away your eyesight little by little, and it gets worse and worse. If you catch it early, it can be operated on. They can do glaucoma surgery and restore your eyesight to you. I let it go too far. And at this point, what I'm diagnosed with is chronic glaucoma. I have 0% vision in my right eye. I have 30% in my left. And they say I'm legally blind. And the best that could be done in my case is that it's arrested right where it is. And the only hope for me is to just take eye drops and keep it where it is, but I can't go back. I can't go back to having good eyesight again. So I can kind of understand what he's saying in this, when he's saying the action of the alcohol on these chronic alcoholics. So now that means I'm worse than just regular hard drinker like Ralph was talking about, and I'm worse than somebody who's a moderate drinker. I'm a chronic, which in this case actually means I've gone too far. In other words, I guess that's the invisible line. I've gone too far in my alcoholism. So now the action of alcohol on me, it creates that allergy. And like you say, Ralph, it started explaining how some of the things happen to me. I want to come back later on in another couple of pages, so I'm not going to say anymore.
Right, and we're not going to talk about the hard and the moderate. Let's just stick with where we are right now with, and so we chronic alcoholics. What the hell is he talking about? The action of alcohol on these chronic alcoholics is the manifestation of allergy. When Ralph drinks, the action of what happens when he drinks, the action of alcohol on an alcoholic is what he calls the manifestation of an allergy. What? So what happens to Ralph when he drinks is this allergy, and this allergy shows up how? That as a phenomenon of craving. What is an allergy? An allergy is an abnormal reaction. An abnormal reaction, in this case, it could be to a food or substance, and so an abnormal reaction to alcohol. That's crazy. Ralph, how are you telling me I have an allergy? Okay, Daryl, come on in here. You guys stay with me. I'm going to keep your thread going. Bubba?
I'm Daryl. I'm an alcoholic. I got it here. I'm fresh out of the penitentiary. I did not know why in the hell my life had took the turn the way it took. And y'all started reading this literature to me. And when you said the action of alcohol, let's just stop right there. Before you get into the manifestation of an allergy and all of this other stuff, sure, I can understand I'm being allergic to something. He said, if you're allergic, if you take X-Lax, you're going to do all of this. And it's something that keeps occurring. The action, once I took a drink or once I took a hit, I could no longer control the amount that I drank. What does that really mean? Every time I went in a dope house with $20 in my pocket and $1,000 in my shoe, thinking I was just going to spend $20. Never happened. Once I sat down on that damn couch with that hot $20, y'all know what happened when I sat on that couch. I think as I was gonna get up in about 3 hours, that invisible seatbelt just wrapped around my ass. I couldn't get up off the couch. That's the action of alcohol that they explained to me to make me understand what they were talking about. And we can get into a lot. It's going to explain a lot more, but this is where it started, answering the questions that I had when I came in here. Thanks, Rob.
Gloria?
Morning, everybody. Gloria, alcoholic addict. And what I understood is the manifestation is, I'm allergic to drugs and or alcohol. And once I put one in, drink, whatever, I break out into, I have to have some more, right? I start to itch, and that is my itch. My itch is I cannot stop it. I have to keep going. And so when I understand it, and we look at the definition, the manifestations, indication, appearance, the qualities, the demonstrations, the features are the results, right? The results of what happens to us after, Daryl, that $20, and I swear I'm only going to just take that one. Once we put one in, the manifestation starts to evolve. Thank you so much.
Jared?
Hey, good morning, family. My name is Jerry Miller, and I'm an alcoholic. And I got to be honest with you, man. When I landed on the doorstep of that sober living, December 2nd, 1999, when I actually got into this book, that was some good damn news, because it kind of explains some shit to me, right? You know what I mean? It's like, well, how come I can't just, get high like normal people? You know what I'm saying? And make it back home with some of that paycheck, right? This is the part that kind of actually allows me, the action that happens to a guy like me, you know what I mean? It explained a lot to me. So it gave me a whole lot of relief. Because see, this is not the part, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't understand. I'm just like, God, Daryl talked about that invisible seatbelt. I just could not control and enjoy like I wanted to, and this explained why. Thanks for letting me share.
Okay, I'm gonna keep us really tightly reined in this paragraph. We got a lot of hands. I'm gonna stop with Lydia, because I really want to get the fundamentals of what's in here. So you guys, it's a tight leash on this paragraph. Jeffrey?
Jeff, sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'll just keep this simple for me. The word chronic alcoholic is I got an illness that persists and resists treatment. So everything based on self would not work. I tried so many times, so many ways, so many different methods that were not a spiritual basis to quit. And all of a sudden, I'm drinking one drink thinking that's all I'm going to have. And 22 later, I just can't control. See, my body no longer wants food as fuel once I start to drink. It's the alcohol. It's only just the alcohol. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. We're going to say, so we're talking about the allergy of the body. And we're really trying to talk about what happens when I put one in me. And I'm going to go into that, Ronald.
Ronald, alcoholic addict. For a long time, I believed that even after getting here, that alcohol was not my problem. Alcohol was something that didn't defeat me when I was out there. I didn't feel defeated because I 2 or 3 drinks, I'm blacked out, or I'm unable to keep going, and I wake up with some money, and I think I'm okay. I go to work, I think I'm okay. But I graduated to the next drug, which is crack. And when I get to this crack, I can't stop. I can't stop. So I figure if I just stop smoking crack, I'll be all right, and I can drink. But getting here and looking at my experience showed me that I also am an alcoholic, because when I take a drink, it sets off my allergy to smoke crack. And I couldn't put those together for 4 or 5 years, because I was under the impression that I just need to stop smoking crack. But now I understand what the manifestation actually is when it comes to alcoholism. And there's a lot of people that I know that they think the same way, that if I'm not an alcoholic, I'm a crackhead. And that ain't true. These things go hand in hand, and it's not emphasized. It seemed like it wasn't, because it was 5 years before I was really convinced that I better not never take a drink. I better not never take a drink if I don't want to hit the fight, because it's a part of manifestation. That's a part of my allergy, that when I drink, I automatically want to hit the pipe. Thanks for letting me share.
Sandy?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name's Sandy. I'm an addict and an alcoholic. And this paragraph was just like a aha moment for me. I so related to what Ronald Gibson just said. I came in here in 1990 when I was 20 years old, never even had a drink. I literally had to cross out alcohol and put drugs in my AA big book. And when the doctor's opinion talked about the manifestation of the phenomena of craving and this manifestation of an allergy and losing all self-confidence and now being unable to rely upon things, human. I mean, I just related so much. I was like, oh my God. And because, of course, coming here, I thought, are you guys going to help me learn to use with moderation? When I was 20, I was thinking that, right? It's just crazy. And it just it really was the aha moment. Oh, this is why my friend Anna can go home at midnight and say, oh, I got to be at work at 8. I'm gone. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? There's still shit here. I ain't going anywhere. I'll still make it to work at 8, And at 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, I'm thinking I'm not making it to work. And so this was really just so profound for me. And it really explained the difference of maybe I have that allergy and she doesn't. Thank you.
Doug? You're muted, Doug.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm an alcoholic. My name is Doug, and I'm grateful for my desire to stay sober. For many years, I wondered, what's wrong with me? Why do I keep doing the things I'm doing? I just never could figure it out. I get up so sick in the morning from the night before. I'm sick. I'm done. I ain't doing this again. And at the end of the day, I wonder what the boys are doing down at the bar. I think I better go see them. And I go down there and I'm drunk doing it all over again. And I never could figure that out. I run my head into the jail bars and cracked it wide open saying, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? And I sit there, somebody got in a big book to me and I started reading the doctor's opinion. And this changed my whole life, this doctor's opinion. It gave me the answer to what's wrong with me when I drink. Why don't I stop? All these different things, that phenomenon of craving set in, and there I am. This doesn't happen to normal drinkers. I got a partner, he drank with me, drink for drink. Sooner or later, he said, I better go home. I'm feeling a little queasy. I say, what, man? We're just getting started. So I understand it, and I just witnessed it this morning on another meeting. A lady went out after 5 years. Same thing. She started with 2 drinks. Within a week, she was off and gone to the races. Thank you.
Lydia?
Good morning. Never too early. I really appreciate that this is the doctor's opinion. Allergy of the body. I have to look at, I love this paragraph, an allergy of the body. So if I am allergic to peanuts, right, I know I'm not going to eat anything with peanuts. Why? Because something happens to my body. I break out in hives. My throat gets enlarged. Things like that happen. So I'm not going to eat peanuts, right? But not us, or not me. Let me just keep it a me, not me. I'm allergic to something, I'm going to take it regardless of anything. And it's based on this phenomenon of craving, which is limited only to my class. And I can't safely use alcohol again. I go back to the person who cannot eat peanuts, right? Somebody who is allergic to something, a food or anything in particular, they know that they cannot safely eat that thing, so they'll refrain from it, but not me. I really appreciate this paragraph. Thank you for letting me share.
And people have their hands put down because, you know, we said Lydia was the last hand because we really want to get, and trust me, we got a lot of room in the doctor's opinion, guys. You know, so we ain't got to all jump in on this very first paragraph. So some of you that had your hand up, you'll be glad because there's a lot more up in here. And let's just get through. So thank you guys. Lydia,
Ralph, do you mind if I say something on this paragraph?
Ronnie's here from Amsterdam.
Hello, my name is Ronald White. I'm an alcoholic. And I figured I'd jump in before my Wi-Fi drops me out. It's so shaky. That a great part of the doctor's opinion, I'm assuming you did the paragraph on we believe, right? And so suggested?
Yes, that's the paragraph.
All right. So for me, I like to think of it in the way that I understand and explain it to a lot of folks is, it's just like eating a box of X-Lax. Now, some of you guys may not know what X-Lax is. X-Lax is like a laxative, right? If I were to eat a box of X-Lax, you would think that even if I had no intention of going to the bathroom, or after I ate them and I had started having this reaction in my body, that I would say, no, I'm not going to use the bathroom. I'm not going to use the bathroom. But no matter how strong my willpower is, I can't stop myself because my body has taken over once I take one. The same thing with alcohol or drugs for me. Once I take one, a reaction takes place in my body that I can no longer control. Now, I might tell myself after I take that first, no, I'm not going to spend this next 10. I'm not going to spend it. I'm not. And the next thing you know, my body has taken over. And no matter how strong my willpower is, no matter how strong my mindset is, there is a reaction that takes place in my body that is far beyond my control. Now, the way Dr. Silkworth described it was an allergy. This reaction to the substance in my body that starts this craving that I have no control over. I've heard people beautifully share it already, that the invisible seatbelt, whatever you want to call it, that comes out where I'm unable to control the next one. In fact, I want the next one more than I wanted the first one. That's it. Thank you.
Couple of things to understand about this allergy, though. Ronnie said something, Lydia said something. It's kind of why, if you're new, you might have a lot of problems with, how the hell, Ralph, are you telling me this is an allergy? Ronnie said the thing with X-Lax. Well, if everybody took X-Lax, everybody is going to have a problem with whether or not they have to go to the bathroom. That's not the case with alcohol. And that's the thing that throws me, because I'm sitting next to somebody that takes a drink and they don't have to go to the bed. They don't. That takes the X-Lax, if Ronnie's example. So they take a drink and they don't. Oh my God, I was talking and I just gave you guys the key to sobriety for you the rest of your life and nobody heard me. God damn it. Here's the deal. You know, Ronnie said something and Lydia said something, and what they said was so profound, but it also, I want to talk to people who are new and struggling or maybe have had difficulty with going in and out. That X-Lax analogy is a good one, but it's a slippery slope, because the thing with X-Lax, anybody who takes X-Lax will sit up and they have to go. It's no choice. But anybody who takes alcohol, that's not the case. That's not the case. And so I sit up and think, I'm like my guy at happy hour who goes home. I don't make the connection. I just think I changed my mind. And Lydia said an allergy. Ralph, how can this be an allergy? I had an allergy to strawberries. I had an allergy to shellfish. I had an allergy to peanuts. I break out. I make sure I never touch that stuff. How can you tell me I have an allergy to alcohol? When I drink alcohol, I feel good. I don't feel bad. Most of us associate allergic reaction with something that's bad. Almost all allergic reactions are negative. So it makes me, but my reaction to this substance, beverage, alcohol, is not a bad reaction. I want more. That is why we have a big book workshop. That is why I have to have not just, I take a Webster dictionary definition, but I have to apply it to in a different way than I've ever applied. And that's why I needed somebody to walk me through this, because my understanding of allergy, because of my understanding, was always a negative consequence. Well, allergy, dictionary helps me, abnormal. Didn't say there, abnormal reaction. Probably, at least in my experience, the only allergic reaction I know that feels positive to me. So note that, new friends, when we say allergy, don't necessarily think, oh, it feels, now, it is a negative reaction. You know, some folk break out in jail fights, jails, barbara, all kind of other stuff, but it feels good to me, right? So the first thing we think when we say allergy to alcohol is an abnormal reaction, okay? Abnormal reaction to this beverage alcohol. Oh, yeah, normal people don't get it. What's the abnormal part of this, Ralph? Everybody gets tipsy when they drink. Everybody gets drunk when they drink too much. Why are you telling me I have an abnormal reaction? Well, since I'm only in my body and I don't know everybody else's body, what happens to you, Ralph White, is when you drink, you get thirsty. Really? Yeah. You mean I used to think that that was me having high capacity. I used to think that was me, you know, this is how I get down. I used to think when I stayed at happy hour, when my buddy said he was going home, that's because he's a poop butt, or he's square and he's henpecked and he all manner of stuff. No, something happened in your body that doesn't happen in everybody else's body. This is another one, you guys, where I have to go to Big Book recovery definition, the manifestation. So how does this allergy show up? It shows up as what we call the phenomena of craving. Phenomena, we can't see it, we can't explain, but we know it happens because it happens to me. Phenomenon of craving. What? When you drink, you get thirsty. Most of the time, I use craving for before I do something. All the ladies on here, many of you who've been pregnant, when you're pregnant, you get a craving for something. I want some black walnut ice cream. You usually get it at 2 a.m, send the guy out to the store, some ungodly out. But anyway, I get a craving. I feel a craving for pizza right now, so I go buy it. Well, craving for us happens after. Follow me, new friends? Doesn't happen before. I don't get a craving for alcohol, though you can, but the craving we're discussing happens after I put it in me. New concepts, very important. Allergy, abnormal reaction. Oh, okay. How does this allergy, what's the abnormal reaction, sir? The abnormal reaction is this phenomena of craving. I didn't know that's what happens to me. I didn't know that's why when I set out to only spend 20, I spent a whole paycheck. I did not know that's why when I said I was going home at 8 and I got home at 8 3 days later, I didn't know that's what had happened. This phenomenon of craving happens after I put one in me. Okay? That's the body part of this. It's super important because if I don't put one in me, I don't start it off. We're only going to talk about, some people alluded to, well, why do I start? I can't stop. We're not talking about that part yet. We're not talking about the why I can't stay stop part. We're talking about what happens when I put one in me. Why can I not control and just take one, or just take two, or just spend 20, or go home at 8 o'clock? Why is it that I lose control once I start? It's super important to get this concept down. It's the body part. It's the, in AA, they used to say, it ain't the caboose that gets you, it's the engine. It's the first one. And so that's where that comes from. And here's the other piece, super important. Guess what? The phenomenon of craving only happens in people who have this thing. It don't happen in other people. When my mama drinks alcohol, she don't get the phenomenon of craving. What? Yeah, she don't get it. You might have siblings, and when they do, they don't get it. It missed them. You might have drank with some people, you might have got loaded with some people that go home, take their asses home when they say they're going home. They don't have it. So here's the test for myself, new friends. If I have ever suffered the phenomenon of craving, then I am probably alcoholic. The other thing that's tricky, we don't talk about, it doesn't have to show up all the time. There are times I can go out at lunch, have a couple of drinks, smoke a joint in the car, and go back to work. There are times that can happen. So people look at it and think this means that every single time, right? I'm just using the X-lax metaphor. That's what it seems. No, but if I've ever had the phenomenon of craving, that's why we have people who are called binge drinkers, who are alcoholics. They may not go do it, but when they do, they can't control it. And so that never occurs in my mom. It never occurs in a bunch of folk y'all know. So if it has happened to me, then I'm probably alcoholic. Guess what else, Ralph? If that's you, you can't safely use alcohol in any form whatsoever. What? Nope. You can't safely. You can do it if you want to, but you can't safely do it in any form whatsoever. Now, once I form this habit, once I cross what we call this invisible line, once alcohol has got its hold on me, once I'm in it, and I find out I can't get out, I lost my self-confidence. A lot of us understand that. I used to think, I used to have a lot of it. Lost my self-confidence, lost my reliance upon things human. In 1986, when I came in, it was a whole lot of grown people foot soldiering, reliance on things human, cars, and a lot of grown people riding bicycles. I didn't have a telephone, lost my reliance on things human. Didn't see my daughter, the love of my daughter, the love of my wife, having lost my reliance on things human, their problems pile up on and become astonishingly difficult to solve. We got some people on the platform right now that it feels like the hole is too deep. I've gotten myself too deep in this. I've lost my self-confidence. I'm scared to go home. I'm sitting up in God's property. I'm sitting up in one of these places. I know sitting in here, I feel safe, but I got a big tax bill on me. I got a case maybe waiting on me. I got warrants. I ain't had no insurance. I don't have an ID. I don't have nowhere to go when I leave this place. Once this stuff piles up on me, it seems like it becomes, so it's a portrait of the alcoholic. Physically, something different about me. When I take one, I can't stop. If that has happened to me, I suffer from this disease we call it alcoholism. I can't safely do it at all. It's got a hold on me, and all this other stuff describes me. And when I'm in that state, reader, holler at me.
Frothy emotional, Brenda Addict. Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. The message which can interest and hold these alcoholic people must have depth and weight. In nearly all cases, their ideals must be grounded in a power greater than themselves if they are to recreate their lives.
Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. I don't want to see no hands yet. I'm gonna ask you a question. Put your hand down, Pamela. You can put it back up after I ask my question. I'm sure you will. You guys put it down. I got a question. We're going to do a service to some of our people who haven't read this book right now. And we're going to do a service. Then we'll go deep in it. I want some people to tell me, what are examples of frothy emotional appeal? So now I'm in that hole that they described in the paragraph right before. I lost my reliance on things human. My problems are piled up on me. I'm in a deep, 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 deep hole. I'm sitting on this platform right now. I don't know how I'm going to get up out of this shit. Life is big on me. Alcoholism is tore me up. Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. I want somebody to give me, and I don't want you to go into when I was new. I want you to give me an example of frothy emotional appeal. I don't want editorial. Give me an example. Frothy emotional appeal. Hit it and get out. Daryl? Oh, I got double dippers up in here. No, you and Jerry, wait. Come on, Gary.
Gary,
give me a quick example of frothy emotional appeal.
My sister crying over the phone begging me to stop smoking, that I'm going to kill myself.
Al?
Any alcoholic, any statement that begins with a you or a we, it's a lecture, it's a holier than thou, it's talking down, it's a spiritual hilltop. I need you to talk in the first person. Then I can relate. That's what carries depth and weight for me.
Give me an example of frothy emotional appeal. Carol?
Please, you have to stop. You have everything to live for. You're going to lose your kids. You're going to go to jail.
Thank you. Shauna?
My very young daughter is saying, Mommy, come, let's play dolls, but I got to go get me another one.
Rooster?
Frothy emotional appeal for me is it's practiced in a couple of areas in my life, and it turns the key in my brain that says I must have, and eventually I succumb to that and I fall prey. Unfortunately,
Larry, alcoholic. Some examples of those are when I come in there and I hear it from these different relationships that develop in my life, and they've asked me to stop, quit, please don't, things of that nature.
Chris?
Chris had it. Chris, you're so young. You're in your 20s, man. You got your whole life ahead of you. This is going to ruin your life.
Thank you. Marilyn?
I need to stop you. I am going to do a Goodwill run later. Daddy is dying, Marilyn. You got to come with us to the hospital. You're killing him.
Killing him. Thank you. Rick?
I'll look at him. Thanks.
Sorry. Yeah, when I was 16, we used to go to Mexico on weekends, and we'd come back, and I was laying in bed vomiting on myself, and my mom comes in and says, well, do you think you had enough to drink this time?
Patrick?
I just had a bad taco, Mom.
Patrick?
Yeah, I was at a hockey tournament, and I'm not proud of this. I drove drunk with my kids in the car, and he drove into a ditch, tried to get my 12-year-old to drive the car out of it. Absolute insanity. Got home, nothing happened. The next day, my wife came up, bitched me out, and I had to go have a couple of pints because my delicate sensibilities were hurt.
Ronnie?
My emotional needs were.
That's Ronnie.
Hey, thanks, Ronnie. You got to quit this stuff, or you're going to end up just like my dad.
You're going to end up just like your daddy. Thank you, Brenda.
My 5-year-old saying, Mama, please don't go. Please don't go.
Please don't. Appeals to my emotions. Mary Ann?
I've often thought, sorry, I'm laying down, but that frothy emotional appeal is people like telling me, oh, well, you're not that bad. Oh, you're going to be fine. Oh, okay, everything's good. Everything's good.
Kelly?
I want to say the Employee Assistance Program.
Jason?
I want to say when my boss is telling me to be in the work, that I'm a good worker, but to stop coming in, no shows and things like that. So work related. Telling her I'm going to lose my job if I don't like that.
Keith?
Quote, I'm Keith D. Quote, don't you love me? Unquote.
Don't you love me? That's an excellent frothy emotional appeal. Deborah?
You told your daughter you was coming right back. She sat in that window waiting for you all night long. That's how you show her you love her?
Told your daughter you was. Thank you for a wonderful example of frothy emotional appeal. Nor?
I told you if I ever saw you in my courtroom again, you would have your life.
That's a Gloria. You're muted, Gloria. Okay.
No, I'm not double dipping, no.
All right, I was going to come back to you and Bubba and Jared. Carolyn, especially for frothy emotional appeal, we just hitting it again now. Carolyn?
You wasn't raised like that. You know.
That's a good one. You know better. You wasn't raised like that. Albert?
When a dope dealer tells you, you seem like a nice guy, man, why don't you stop and go home?
Just take your ass home, man. What? Is this Sam? You muted yourself again, Sam. Okay. And Heather? Heather, you muted.
Hi, my 14-year-old son saying, Mommy, you sure have been drinking a lot lately. I wish you would quit.
I wish you would quit, Mom. Oof. Willie?
Yes, frothy emotional appeal. My late mother asking me to go somewhere and get me some help because she didn't want to see me stay around and drink myself to death with the hoodlums next door that I was drinking with.
Keith?
Yes, the actor from Friends sitting on Diane Sawyer, giving up anonymity, claiming that he was cured and then he ODs.
I'm going to look at you for a minute because, anyway. Sarah?
My husband.
Sarah, you muted.
We just buried his mother, and my husband said to me,
Do you have to have another drink?
Marilyn, is this you again? Marilyn, you like that frothy emotional appeal. Give me another one then.
No, this is a new Marilyn.
Oh.
Thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, we have Marilyn V. That's you, Marilyn.
No, I'm Marilyn T.
I know, I see.
Okay.
Come on.
But my therapist, I went to my therapist because I didn't know what's wrong with me. And she said, you can't come here to see me until you go to AA.
Shirley?
The pastor calling for altar call every Sunday.
Stacy?
Hi, Stacy Alcoholic. Can't you just chill? Don't overshoot the sweet spot.
Kate?
For my daughter to never see the empty dark in my eye.
Kasheen? Who is this? Keisha?
My parents telling me that I should leave my kids with them and stop dragging them behind me because they deserve stability.
See, some of y'all know what frothy emotional appeal is. Some of y'all are talking about the results of it, and some are giving us the examples of it. You know what? You need to leave them kids here because you're killing them. You're killing me. You hurt me. I can't stand to see you doing this. That's what we're talking about. Rashay?
You're scaring me, Mom.
You're scared. Ooh. Yeah, that got to my emotion right there. You scaring me. Denise?
If you don't stop, I'm going to have to leave you.
Ooh, that's the one. A lot of us have heard that one. Me or it. Joel?
Christopher, you're my son and I love you. You don't have to go to A like I did. You know, you told me your doctor said you guys are cirrhotic liver. Go to the VA hospital. Go anywhere, but stop drinking. You don't need to do it the way I did it. Please, I love you.
I love you. You ain't got to be killing yourself like that. Jackie?
Jackie Alcoholic. You got 3 beautiful kids to live for.
That's the one. A lot of us done heard that one. You got them kids to live for. What's wrong with you? Victor? Victor?
Yeah, I was in prison and my cellie told me, Victor, my other name, if you stop drinking, I'll make sure you have crack every day. And 3 days later, I'm going back up with some alcohol. You know, and that's what I did.
Lacey?
Okay. It breaks my heart to see you throwing away all of your potential.
You hate the potential moves thrown at you? Frothy emotional appeal. Felicia?
If you love me, you will just quit.
I know, huh? If you love me, you will quit. What kind of bullshit are you pulling? Talk about appeals to emotion, the love card. Come on in here, Chief. You were in Netherlands too. I didn't think we would get you around it.
We over here doing sidebar. He's the alcoholic. If you want a relationship with your brother,
oh my God,
you need to stop. You won't have a brother anymore if you don't do something different And I have to throw in another one.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy didn't say anything. He just stopped saying anything. He stopped talking.
See, the reason we're doing this exercise, and you see how many people are here, is not the vague, oh, what is that? We're talking about the real stuff, and it ain't the frothy emotional appeal isn't true. It just ain't enough. It don't suffice. It is true. You got them 3 lovely kids. It is true. You're gonna lose your goddamn brother. It is true to the people. If you love me, what? It's not. So frothy emotional appeal, you guys, are not people saying bad things to us. Don't hold me. It ain't enough. Mickey?
An example for me is when my dad looked me in the eye after taking me to work. He didn't trust me at home. He said, I wish more than anything on this planet that I could trust you. I don't recognize you. Can you please bring my daughter back?
Oh, I get chills with that one. I don't know how many of us they've said that to us. Where's my son? Where's that? Fran?
Fran alcoholic, why can't you be more like your sister?
Oh my goodness.
Why do you have to be the way you are?
You see, Fran, I knew that about you. How come you couldn't be more like your sister? See, Angeline?
If you keep it up, you're going to be all alone.
See? So I had to tell you, you keep that shit, you're going to be all by yourself. Karen?
Hi, family. At the end of my drinking, I put myself into a private hospital, and my mother said, what's different this time?
We done seen this act before. You know what I mean? Vicky?
Drastic personality changes that scare kids and embarrass family.
Katie? We can't hear you, Katie. You're unmuted, but we can't hear you. Okay. Amanda? I don't know, Katie, we couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. Amanda?
Hey, first time this meeting. Currently losing my family. Most of my things are packed. My son and I will have to move. I've ruined his life because he will have to move somewhere that he doesn't want to go. And being told that I can come back when I'm all better.
Thank you for being here, Amanda. Doug?
Drug alcoholic. My daughter's stepfather said, Doug, you're welcome in our home anytime, sober. Don't come over here drunk anymore. You're breaking your daughter's heart. She's not in the car with you.
See, you ain't shit, Doug. You just driving drunk with the kids. See, that's why you up in here with us. LaTanya?
LaTanya addict. My grandmother tell me, give me your EBT card so you won't sell your food stamps so y'all can have some food through the month. I give it to her, and then go to the county building and get a new card and sell them anyway.
LaTanya, that's a good thing, but we're gonna put that on another paragraph we're gonna read. You know, we're gonna put that on another paragraph. You know, the things that we do, it'll be coming up. And when we talk about things that we do after this craving sets in, but right now, and somebody put in the chat, Can it be looks? Can it be? There are lots of things that erode our spirit. What we're talking about right here is the doctor is talking about the methods people have tried to get us that don't work. So it's a lot of other stuff. People say, what about the lip trick? What about? There are lots of other things that we're specifically now talking about for a reason. The doctor is putting this in here, and he's contrasting this frothy emotional appeal. We're only doing this sentence. We haven't gotten to the rest of the paragraph. And you see how many people are identifying with frothy emotion because we done heard it. Come on, Ashley.
You're worse than your mother was.
Ah, Ashley.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bobby.
I can remember hearing my mother and my sister say, don't you have to do a urinalysis for the parole department tomorrow?
And your ass. That's more frothy. But Daryl?
Towards the end of my this was when it was good. I came home one day after about a 4 or 5 day run. She said, one day you gonna come home and me and Daryl gonna be gone.
Gonna be gone. Gonna be
and then 6 months later, I had called a case. The judge told me, if you come back in my courtroom one more time, I'm gonna give you 5 years. Guess where I was 6 months later? I was back in her courtroom, and guess what?
All right, stop the result. We just in the good ones, Steve. We in frothy. Give us some frothy emotional appeal. I like that. You gonna come home and we gonna be gone. We done heard that one. A lot of us. Jerry.
5 p.m. Auntie's knock on the door. What would it take for you not to sell these Christmas toys? By 2:30 in the morning, there's a 5-year-old holding my leg saying, "Daddy, please don't go."
Now that's the frothy emotional appeal. Holding on to the leg, the kids looking up, "Daddy, again, do you have to go? Daddy, please don't go." Whew. Val?
Hi, alcoholic Valerie. I don't know how frothy this is, but having my daughter after many years going in and out of AA, telling me, you think I don't know what you're doing. And then I come home and find pamphlets on the bed.
Think I don't know what you're doing. I see you. David? You're muted, Dave. You still muted?
I got on mute?
Yes, you're muted now.
Dave, the hurt is so great, I can no longer stand it. Your love is cocaine. I can't compete with cocaine. I don't make you feel good like Coke does. Coke keeps you coming 24 hours a day. You will die for Coke. It may kill you soon. And that's only half of it.
Yeah, we don't have time. And,
I know.
For everybody who will be on after, this is Dave is Perez's brother. We just lost Perez yesterday. Dave is on with us today. Our condolences to you, sir. And Dave will be on after the meeting for any people who want to talk to him. But thank you. Alexa?
I don't know who that person was, but I've only seen violence like that from your mom.
Oh, I don't know who. Ooh. Anybody else ever? I don't even know who you are no more. That's the cold, frothy, emotional appeal right there. Jerry? Jerry? Okay, so Jerry, can you unmute? Okay, Jerry cannot unmute. Isaac?
Yeah, my name is Isaac and I'm an alcoholic. When I got out of jail, first place I go to is my connect and asked him, can you please front me in 20 seconds? He looked at me and said, I told him I just got out. He looked at me and said, bro, you got a fucking problem. Thank you.
The dope man telling you you got a problem. And then somebody, Ava, who cannot get on, she says she's raising her hand, but she can't raise it. And she says, her mama used to say, I never let anything control me. Why can't you? You know, I expected so much more. Damn expectations from them loved ones. Katie?
Hi, I'm Katie and I'm an alcoholic. I don't want to get in the car with you, Mom. You scare me when you drive.
Ooh, that's a good one, Katie. That's a good one. Kimber?
When are you gonna grow up, Kim?
I know. Kim, come on now. When you gonna grow up and cut this out? Ooh, Karen?
I can't unmute, but mine, if
You
it's
unmute.
Karen T, mine used to be, you're such a pretty girl, Karen, and I've heard that for over 30-something years.
Girl, you such a pretty girl. What the hell is wrong with you? Why are you out here like that? Alex?
If you know you're gonna feel bad afterwards, why do you still do it?
Why are you still doing that shit? You know what's gonna happen. Why are you still doing it? Come on, Ronald, real fast. You doubling. We're gonna let you in here.
Ronald Addict, my mom coming to me telling me, you know you've been diagnosed with a heart murmur. Please don't hit that crack no more. That's gonna bust your heart.
About to kill yourself. Willie Russell.
Yeah, we had ran a mother's house. My sister moved out. She moved this afternoon. She said, please come stay with me. Please come stay with me. She said, Mama said she's about to get some life insurance on your ass.
Ooh, that's a good one right there, Willie Russell. Mom is gonna get some life insurance. That's a good one because my wife took out life insurance and told me you worth more dead than you are alive. Anyway, let me get out my story. Julio?
Julio, alcoholic. My mom used to say, "You're breaking my heart because you're gonna die before I am."
Come on, Julio. You breaking my heart. You gonna die before me. Ooh, that's a good one. Lydia?
Julio, same thing, right? Mom used to tell me, you're killing me with what you're doing.
Killing me. How many of us, and I know a lot of people are like, why are we spending so much time with this? This is one, you guys, that is one, everybody, you know, we get people who don't even often say something, but isn't it amazing, you know, how many of us have heard from from loved ones. And it's amazing that it didn't have it might have had some juice, but it wasn't sufficient. We're gonna stop with, hopefully we get to Little Peaches, and we gonna stop there if we get through. Come on, Tiffany.
My mom coming up to me after another overdose and meeting me at my house and saying, I gave birth to you. If anybody's going to take you out, it's going to be me. It's not going to be those drugs of yours.
I'm just gonna look. I'm glad I don't know your mouth. Ooh, that I'm not sure. That one right there, that one might have sufficed, Tiffany. Not to get you sober, but Mom might have, if she'd have pulled that off. Carla?
Hey, my name is Carla and I'm an addict. My mother used to tell me all the time, you are going to hell.
Going to hell. Damn, Carla, your ass. Going to hell. You got me saying, Daniel?
Daniel, alcoholic. My uncle dropped me off at my first treatment center, age 19, in 1987. And he said, this is because I don't want to have to buy your funeral dress.
Oof. Make me buy your funeral dress. Bernadette?
If you continue to use, your child's going into foster care.
Ay, ay, ay. And I don't know how many mamas heard that one. John?
My wife begging me to stop and telling me that if I don't stop, she was going to leave.
I'm leaving your ass. You don't stop. It's me or it. I don't know how many of us got that ultimatum, and I don't know how many of us waved at them when they were leaving. But Little Peaches?
My name is Peaches. I'm an alcoholic addict. Like my mom telling me, Peaches, you are little. You need to get into a program.
So frothy emotional appeal. Pam, you were the one that had the hand up at the beginning of that, and you didn't have no frothy emotional appeal. Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. So from all of us who raised our hand and had that, none of us said that after we heard from them people, we got sober. So it appears that what the doctor is saying is true. Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. It ain't enough. What is it then, Ralph? The message that'll interest, number one, that'll interest me and will hold my attention must have depth and weight. So the doctor is saying frothy emotional appeal, while it has merit and while it has truth, it doesn't provide enough of the depth and the weight that he's talking about. We'll go later into, well, what is a message? What does that message look like? In nearly all cases, their ideals must be grounded in a power greater than themselves if they are to recreate their lives. Very early in the doctor's opinion, he's saying something that is extremely important and powerful for us that doesn't take place in the doctor's opinion. But the doctor is telling us something. So how do I flip that in this? So there's a promise in that doctor's opinion. He says, if their ideals are grounded in a power greater than themselves, these alcoholics can recreate their lives. If their ideals are grounded in a power greater than themselves, these alcoholic folks can recreate their lives. So we already went through, and we don't really have a lot of time to go through the message that must have depth and weight. The doctor suggests that. Pam, I cut you off. Are you in here? You want to say something while we in this last minute? Where you at?
Hey everybody, Pam, alcoholic, and yeah, God works in mysterious ways because that's why I needed to go last, because that's why I'm here. See, I was in another fellowship. I'm an alcoholic that smoked a whole lot of crack. Don Ruth, we love you. They would say alcohol's a drug. I mean, alcohol ain't no damn drug. If it was a drug, it would be called drug. It wouldn't be called alcohol. And I couldn't stop relapsing. And an old timer looked at me over there in another fellowship, and he said to me, Pick your big ass head up. You know how many girls in this fellowship would trade places with you and you keep smoking? What's wrong with you? I didn't know what was wrong with me. It just didn't work until I got here. See, I know Ralph's last day, he was running up to the car and his mama was in there. I know Ronnie got his ass beat in the front yard. I know Reggie gave out the car. See, your experience. People would tell me, girl, you traveling around the world and you smoking crack? Yeah, I was. But I needed to see your experience. That old Pam, stop. This shit didn't work. But coming here and seeing people that look like me, that love this book like I do, that was able to give me a solution. Now that worked. But that other stuff, it didn't work. You know, I'm an alcoholic and an addict. I'm an alcoholic because I got a hole in my soul that needs a spiritual experience. I ain't gonna go further down the line, I'm gonna get hollered at. But if you're here and you're new, this is the place to be. Please keep coming here. You'll find out why. Why can't I stop? Because you're alcoholic. That's why. You know, it was all of that. People telling me evidence of why I shouldn't. But you all showed me how I didn't have to. And that was the difference. So yeah, frothy emotional pill, I had a lot of that. It wasn't until I got here. And I've been dancing around here. And that other fellowship, I would have had 27 years. It wasn't until I got here and got a solution on how not to do it was I able to be happy, joyous, and free. And y'all, I woke up this morning, not with the bartender. I ain't got no burn hole on my lip, no thumb toe up from the lighter. I woke up today sober because you all opened up a solution for me today. So thank you for letting me share.
All right, Pam, I get to be the one who says, you're way out of the paragraph. All right. That's all the time we have. Come back next week. I presume that we will probably be picking up at this paragraph again for a little bit. Seeing as we got through a sentence, it's all right, Chris. So before we do anything, as was mentioned earlier, Donna Ruth, her service is coming up on the 25th. So I'm putting into the chat right now both the flyer and if you're looking to help contribute. And then I wanted to give David the floor for a second if you wanted to, because we lost Kariz, his sister. David,
Ryan, can you get a reader for next week before you do that?
Yes, I can. Can I get a man to read next week? Daryl, you got it. Thank you for being so fast. All right, go ahead, David.
Good morning, never too early. David W. My sister yesterday succumbed to her condition at her hospice at 12/24, and she was fighting for about 5 years. She got 2019, and she had a seizure going to work. And we bringing her back. She had ups and downs. She finally succumbed to the condition. She had a lot of lung issues and inability to walk and everything, and it got bad. I'm gonna try, Ryan, to put this on my screensaver, and I'm gonna try to get her to put it back. This is me and her back in the 70s. And we came in these rooms. I had 3 years sober when she followed me in these rooms. And because of this fellowship, because never too early, we loved her and brought her back to life. She had 30 years of sobriety last November. And we brought her to the meetings, you know, we picked her up and used to bring her to DHS, and she loved you guys. A lot of you guys went to see her in her hospice. All I can say is thank you for helping me get my sister back and giving her 30 years of a wonderful life. If anybody's new in this room and you think it don't work, I'm a beg you, keep coming back. Give us a year, 1 year, 12 months, and if you don't like what you got, we're not gonna hold you here. I promise. They never held me here, and I've been here 33 now. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you for your prayers.